Okay, so welcome everybody to Thursday evenings. It's the inaugural launch of Crack the Money Code on a Thursday evening. I'm joined here tonight with Meena of Momentum Feng Shui. She's our guest speaker tonight. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Barbara Wallach, and I've created Crack the Money Code for women. We started these meetings on Wednesday mornings at 11 a.m. We started last August. I figured, you know, we're in this COVID bubble and we're at home, and I wanted to create a safe and comfortable space for women to come to talk about money, the practical financial planning of money, their fear, frustrations, irritations, emotions, you know, thoughts and beliefs around money, and blow that all out. Because at the end of the day, I want every single woman here to realize that she is worthy, that she has the birthright, as Cheryl says, she's got the birthright to be successful. And when we limit ourselves around how we feel about ourselves around money and wealth and prosperity, then we're not able to show up in our true strength and power. Our inner power doesn't radiate as much and doesn't attract the abundance, because we tend to block it when we have limiting beliefs on money and that. We're conditioned by our parents and our teachers and the media, and generational. When you think about it, you know, we're taught by our grandparents and their grandparents and so on and so forth. So as women, we've only been a few decades of out there in the workforce creating this wealth in our families, and not always understanding what to do with that. Because at the end of the day, I really want you to know and understand that you are worthy, that that money that you're earning can be put to work for you, so you don't have to work so hard. So that is really my mission in the planet. So my background is wealth. I've been in the industry as a financial planner for over 3 decades. And I don't mind aging myself, because I come with a lot of experience and wisdom, and I'm here to share that with you. So welcome to Crack the Money Code Thursday evening session with my guest, Meena of Momentum Feng Shui. And I'm so excited that you are all here. Just again, if you have any questions, jot them down, get yourselves comfortable, say hi in the chat. If you've got any questions, pop them in the chat, because I'll keep track of that while Meena is doing her talk. And as well as when Meena is done, we're going to go into Q&A. And so what's going to happen then is I'm going to make you all panelists, so that we can all have the Hollywood squares, and we can actually interact with one another and ask questions. It's all going to be recorded. You're all going to get access to the recording after the fact. And I know for a fact that Meena's got some great gifts for you waiting in the wings. So when we're done, we're going to share with you how you can continue to connect with both Meena and myself to create wealth and abundance in all areas of your life at the end of the day, right? It's not just about money. It's about wealth and abundance in all areas, love and community and friendship, and financially too, right? I have to say that, because I am a financial planner after all. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to Meena of Momentum Feng Shui. She is a certified Feng Shui consultant, and she's always been super fascinated with design of space, home, office, retail, any space we occupy, really. And she has 38 years combined experience managing interior spaces, and she has traveled the world. And I believe she worked in the airline industry traveling. And of course, when COVID hit, guess what? A lot of things disappeared, and travel was one of them. So Meena took quick action and dove into her passion, which is Feng Shui. She's got a lot of education and training and working with the masters of Feng Shui in China, I believe, and has attended many meditation retreats in India, and is also a certified Reiki. I never say this word right, so you have to correct me. Reiki master. So without further ado, I'm going to give the floor to Meena to do her presentation. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments and I will keep track of them. jot them down because you will also have an opportunity to ask your question live at the end of the presentation. So there we go. Meena, the floor is all yours. Welcome. I'm so excited to have you here with us.
Thank you. Thank you, Barbara. How's the sound quality? Can you hear me? Should I put it up a bit higher?
No, it sounds great. What do you think, friends? Can you hear us okay? You could put your yes in the comments. That'd be great. Yeah, Cheryl says yes. Sonia says great. Yeah, sounds great.
That's a great start. Well, thank you, first of all, Barbara. This is the next best thing to being in the presence of such empowering souls, all women in this case, and I am blessed to have this opportunity. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. I can't wait to see you on the screen shortly. I feel like I'm talking to a blank space here, but that's okay. Energetically, we're all connected. And first of all, as I mentioned to you earlier, Barbara, I would like to start with taking a minute to really ground our energy, ground ourselves. It's Thursday evening. We've had, probably because it's a short week, we've probably had, a rushed week, and we're going into the long weekend. So it's really important right now to show respect to the power of energy, to the power of Feng Shui, to be present 100%. So let's take a minute. Most of us are probably sitting on chairs right now. Make sure your feet are touching the ground and just take a minute out. Call in whatever your belief system is, your faith is, your guides are, and let's just take a minute to zone into our eternal energy. Hello again. Lovely to share my passion. I call it my passion of Feng Shui. As Barbara said in her introduction, I am a certified classical Feng Shui consultant. I emphasize on the word classical. There's a reason why I chose that path. It's been modified since, which is okay. Energy has power in many shapes and forms. I gravitate to the classical formulas, whether it's classical Reiki, the traditional meditation. My soul sister Sarah is online here too with us, and she will testify that there's power to going back to where everything originated. And I give all my respect to that. When I chose to get certified a few years back, that's the path I chose, and that's the knowledge and information I will share tonight. If at some point you find it conflicting with something you'll read online or you'll hear somewhere else, this is not to negate somebody else's way of doing it. This is what I'm trained in, and it's what I practice, and it's where I see results. So moving forward, the first thing I want to start with is it's not just you. When we set intentions, it's not just you. Your home setting has to have a mindset of abundance too. Many times we set our intentions with vision boards, with meditation, with goal setting, seminars, retreats, and we come back home and we park our energy. But if our home space does not match the energy that we've just received or we're excited to move forward with, there's a conflict. And since we don't have any of that abundant energy to ground us, it's not long before we get distracted. So it's very important. Feng Shui to a home, to a business, to any space is what acupuncture is to the body. You might have read that before somewhere, and it's very true. It is energy points in 9 areas of our home space. And depending on what the client's intention is, I focus on that area to enhance it, but we cannot forget the other ones as well. So it's an overall balance. And then the focus goes above and beyond. And today, I will start with the basics of Feng Shui, and we will zone in towards the abundance and the career section of it. So by now, most of you have probably heard about different theories about Feng Shui and some conflicting information out there. So don't get discouraged, make notes. I'm here for you to ask questions afterwards if you're not clear on anything. And Barbara will also be facilitating the question and answer period at the end. Like I said earlier, I practice classical Feng Shui. It's the only Feng Shui where we use the Luopan compass. And how to best describe that is, you will read generic astrology, let's say in a newspaper, for the day or for the week. And if you're a Gemini or an Aries or so on, you will have a generalized astrology reading. But when you go to see an actual astrologer, they ask you for your date of birth, your time of birth, your place of birth. And if you were born at 6:07 p.m. versus 6:09, it could be very different. The compass in Feng Shui is exactly that. We have to be very precise. There's often times where we have to take 5, 6, 10 readings to be precise. We cannot be wearing any metal on us. We cannot be parked next to vehicles or other buildings that have metal electrical boxes. It has to be very precise. And the reading is taken from what we call the facing of the space, facing of the building. And that is not always your front door. That could be the side of your house, like it is for me here. I live in a corner house and the front entrance is on the side road, but most of the windows and the bigger windows and doors are on the higher level, which is facing the front on the other side of the street. Basically, the facing is where the energy will most come in through. So having said that, that might contradict what I'm about to say going forward, but there's a reason for it. To invite abundant energy, the front door is very important. A lot of us in the Western world, we use our garage doors or the side doors to come in. Qi only enters basically from the front door. If you don't use your front door, just go out with that intention of going out to invite a beautiful guest in with you. This invisible special guest today is called energy. Very powerful. You could call it spiritual, you could call it energetically connecting to a force. It's a very powerful force. Sometimes in the Western world, we have a tendency, if we don't see something, we have a hard time placing faith in it. Energy is one of those things. So I've made it my job to get people acquainted with it. Whoever's meant to receive, I will be crossing paths with them. It's just a very powerful, the results I've seen in homes and businesses when we've transformed the energy from smallest to biggest achievements in so many areas. And it's not just in wealth. Abundance comes in many shapes and forms, as we know. It could be the health that we're craving to, looking to get better in, and everybody else has basically said, we can't help you. And then energy steps in. It's the wealth. that we associate abundance with. It could be our meditation area of our life. So, front door welcomes in abundance. And like I said, abundance comes in many shapes and forms. We're in spring now, we're heading into beautiful weather. Open the front door and sweep the front entrance. Sweeping has so much power in it. Every motion when you sweep, sweep it with the intention that you're beautifying that area for energy to come in. Place colorful flowers in your front entrance. Remove the old front entrance rug if it needs to, and replace it if you have to. Make sure the lighting is working. And if you have a side entrance or your house is inset, work on getting extra lighting, especially the pathways. And if you're in the mood to do a little bit of yard work, just make sure your pathways are curved. Energy loves to dance into the front entrance. When the pathways are direct, it comes straight in. It doesn't have anywhere to ground itself. Light up those pathways with those beautiful solar lights now coming, into this season that we're heading into. Basically, really work on inviting the energy. If you have a business that's in a strip mall, where your door, it looks like just like any other business. If you live in an apartment, if you live in a condo, in a row home, it's hard for your door to stand out versus the rest of them. Have something there to invite that energy in. Have a colorful doormat, have a welcoming wreath, have something that when the energy is going down your street, it catches its eye and it stops and it wants to go in to see what's there more of. And like I said earlier, go out and come back in with a beautiful smile that you're bringing some positive energy in with you. So now we'll move to the inside of your entrance. Again, colorful carpet, area rug, preferably in a round or oval shape. In Feng Shui, it's all about not having sharp corners. So if you can avoid a square one, great. And if you can't, it's still good to have an area rug. Make sure it's in earth tones. When we come in ourselves, our beings from out there, or energy comes in, it needs a place to ground itself before it starts swirling around the house and getting excited. We need it to ground itself. So when it's grounding itself, it gives it time to focus on what it's there for and what areas in your life it could help you with. And nowadays we see a lot of area rugs that have sayings on them and words and other symbols. Try to stay away from those. That's disrespect. We don't want to be stepping in Eastern culture. It's very important that we keep respect in mind whenever we practice any of these modalities. It's just really important. So get something with a calming pattern. It doesn't have to be plain. There's lots out there. You can invite. The one I picked up is brown, beige, off white, and it has beautiful flowers that resemble lotus flowers, but they're not. They're flowers. So whatever's calling you, have that to ground you. Have really vibrant artwork in the entrance. Have beautiful flowers placed there periodically whenever you can. Energy loves color, energy loves fresh flowers. Try to pick up the shoes and the jackets and the coats. I know it's hard to do when we have families, younger children, but I still have to convey the message. Put them inside the closets whenever possible. The less items energy has to get stuck in, the more it has the power to provide to ourselves. So that is on the power of the entrance. And now I'll talk about our homes. Our homes are three-dimensional vision boards. When we see the lack, confusion, and clutter, how can our subconscious mind feel the abundance? Sometimes we're in a state where we set our intentions, but we don't have the energy to meet it at that level. We set our intention, but our environment is very different from what we want to achieve. And it's up to us to start taking those baby steps. What do abundant people do? Most of us has probably watched The Crown. What did we see in that show? Let's just think back. What was their dinnerware like? What was their decor like? I'm not suggesting to go out and buy china, but we are in a state a lot of times where we're tired, we're exhausted, we get takeout food, and we sit in front of TV and we eat our food without being mindful. Feng Shui is not just about art of placement, as you might have read. It's a lot more than that. It's being mindful of where are we putting our energy. What is our state of mind? Use that good dinnerware that we have. Use the dining table. We have dining tables. A lot of us have formal dining areas. And the way things have been in the last year, we probably haven't gone into them. When I do in-person consultations, those are the things I focus on. Use every area in your home so the energy doesn't have a space to get stagnant in. We have good china, we have good formal living rooms, and we wait for that special occasion. Well, that special guest today is called energy. They're ready to come in. It's up to us to invite them into our spaces and make use of every area. You don't know, for all we know, your dining room could fall in your career section in your home. That formal living room could be your health section, could be your helpful people section. Use every one of the areas in your homes whenever time permits. Energy is, the way I love to describe it is, it's a dance. It really is. We take these baby steps that we're doing today. We get acquainted with the basics of how we can enhance the energy in our space. And it's a beautiful dance. We take a few steps and energy acknowledges. It acknowledges, it gets excited, and it wants to show us that it's acknowledged our efforts. It comes and it meets us. And then, because it's so content with what we're doing, it takes a few extra steps. Now we notice the difference in our lives. We notice change without, sometimes it's hard to describe, you feel it. We do a few extra things. And it's, like I said, it's a dance. It's a dance towards the greatest path of abundance in this case, and many other areas in our lives. So let's start with the smallest things you could do and keep going down that path. Right now, let's talk about business feng shui. It's very close to what our topic is today. The focus in business feng shui, versus when I do consultations in residential is the focus is on power, prosperity, future goals, growth, productivity, all the words that Barbara loves. Businesses have been using Feng Shui in North America for a very, very long time. I'll start with our favorite Oprah Winfrey, but there's many others. There's British Airways, Cathay Pacific, Coca-Cola, Mercedes-Benz, Universal Studios. Those are just a few to name right now. It has a lot of power. There's a reason why they started using this 20, 30 years ago, probably even longer. So let's see what we can arrange in our own businesses to take it to the next level. The following information applies to whether you have a home office or a desk where you put your computer and you sit and you do browsing, you do research. It's all applicable to that. The first thing that you'll hear me talk about is sit in your commanding position. Very, very important. No matter what you're sitting down for, if possible, don't have your desk pushed against a wall. Always have a solid wall behind you. It's to support you. It's to support your energy. The other reason for it is when you have a wall, chances are you'll be able to see the door either on the side or on the right-hand side. It's important that our subconscious mind is not always on alert. We have a solid wall protecting us to ground our energy, and we can see the door. Place your business affirmations, your achievements, what excites you, your vision board in front of you, where you can see it. Every time you look up, your subconscious mind is able to see it. It has a lot of power, not just once a day, but every time you look around, even when you're on the phone, your subconscious mind will go towards it. And wherever our intention goes, energy flows. So it's a great way of continuously putting our focus towards that. Place plants in your place of business where you're sitting in your home office. Plants have a lot of energy. They're live. Talk to them, nurture them. If you see one that's not doing so well, rearrange its lighting, put it somewhere where it's craving more light. Get plants that are not spiky. Avoid cactus. You've probably heard me, most of you have heard me talk about that. It's very important to have plants that are calling out abundance. You will notice. It doesn't just have to be a money tree. You will know what's calling you. If in doubt, send me a screenshot. I'm here to help. Plants have a lot of power. When you have the files on your office desk, make sure that you stay current. It's very important. Whatever that you've already worked on, file it away. It can be in your desk inside the drawer. It doesn't have to be somewhere else, but just not on top of your desk. Only have your current client files on top of your desk. Use red folders. Red is a very energizing color. There's places where we use it in Feng Shui, and there's places we suggest not to use it at all because it's fiery energy. When you have your folders, make sure you go and get the red ones. When that file is complete, you're ready to file it away, transfer it to the basic beige ones that we get at Staples. You don't want that fire to be continuously lit up. Have positive affirmations on your screen. Make sure it's not too busy. I have one for my own goals for 2021 for momentum. And every time I come and sit down on my desk and I turn my screen on, it puts a smile on my face. I know I am achieving my goals. I know whatever I haven't achieved yet, it's only April 1st today. We have the rest of the year to go, so you can start tomorrow. Change your screensaver to something that is positive, a positive affirmation or a symbol. Try to attach your business name to it somehow. You'll see the power in that. Crystals. There's many crystals. If you can see behind me, I have citrine. I also have my selenite lamp. I'm wearing my jade bracelet. Crystals in bringing in abundance. There's lots of them. There is, like I said, citrine. It's a beautiful yellow stone, and it's known to attract confidence, success, and wealth. Place it where you're using that area. The other one that I love is pyrite. It's also known as fool's gold. It's a very sparkly crystal, and it's also known to bring in money. It's a good stone for grounding and opening up to prosperity in many different ways. Jade is also associated with money, luck, and prosperity. Clear quartz, as most of you will probably know, it's one of my favorites because wherever we place it, it amplifies the vibrations with that stone. I have one on my desk right in the corner here. Crystals have a lot of power, and it's one thing to go out and get something, but it's up to us to set our intention. A lot of times when we need grounding stones, the first thing I tell my clients is don't run out and buy stones from grounding stones from stores or shops. That's something, go to the beach, go get your own grounding stones. Place them around your toilet bowls. Very important. You don't have to see them. You can place them at the back. Toilets are one of the biggest culprits we have for draining energy, draining the abundant energy, along with the happiness energy in many different shapes and forms. Keep the toilet lid down. You've probably heard it a lot. It's very important. Keep the toilet lid down. Try to keep the washroom doors closed as much as possible. The other thing I want to talk about is the burners that we have on our stoves. Most of us, I find out, especially when I'm with my clients in their homes, they confess to it. We have our favorite burner or two, yet we have stoves with 4, 5, 6 burners on them. There's lots of them that we don't use at all. It's very important to ignite each one of them periodically. You don't have to use them on a daily basis. Stoves are associated directly with prosperity and Feng Shui. Back in the day, we worked, brought in money to provide food for the family, and the stove was our vehicle to do so. It still holds true today in Feng Shui. It's very important to ignite that energy in each and every one of them, even if it's to just boil water on the smallest one for your coffee or tea. And the last thing I want to talk about is decluttering. I'm sure you've all heard about it, and I go into my excuse me, my clients' homes, and the first thing this is, Meena, we're so sorry, it's full of clutter. I don't go there to judge, but it's still a message I have to convey. When we have declutter, first of all, we're showing disrespect to energy. It has nowhere to park itself. Therefore, it doesn't stick around for long. It's really important to declutter. Take baby steps. We're heading into the long weekend. Take a few minutes out. What I find is that we start with the biggest of intentions, and then we get overwhelmed and we stop. Or we get really excited and we just get frustrated at some point, and then we throw everything into boxes and we give it away. Be mindful when you're doing the practice. Stay present. Those things were in your space for a long time, most likely. It's important to feel the connection. This is why it's important to take your time. Feel the connection. What did it serve you? What's the memory attached to it? Where would you like it to go to? If it's broken, if it's not useful anymore, throw it out. But if somebody else can, benefit from that, what it meant to you at some point, pass it on. There's many shelters, there's many places that can have use for it. But here's the key. When we take our time, we do one closet, one drawer, one room full at a time, and we go through a week, a month, however long it takes, depending on how much we have. We're being mindful. When we're being mindful, chances are very slim that we will fall back into that habit again. It's a process. It's a process. So be mindful of going through it, and not just because if you throw something out, Meena said, abundance will come in. It will. But it's your energy. Make it your own. The other thing I want to talk about is vision boards in inviting abundance. Another thing that you probably heard a lot about over the years, you've read up on it, most of you probably made some at some point, or you have them right now. So here, I want to offer a few tips on, first of all, the power of a vision board in Feng Shui. Yes, I also create them with my clients. They're slightly different than the vision board that you might have heard of in the past. Today, we'll just focus on a vision board, period, because I'm here to provide tips to you on how to take it to the next level. If possible, place a clear quartz next to your vision board. It amplifies your intentions. Express gratitude to each one of the images that you have on your vision board. It is known to have more power if you place visual items on there versus affirmations. Affirmations, we have to stop, we have to read, and the energy resonates with us. When it's a visual, a picture, it could be a happy time you have with your family. It could be something cut out from the magazine. It could be a house, a business prosperity. Try to have symbols and pictures over affirmations. Yes, of course, place affirmations on there as well, but try to have more pictures on there. Express gratitude of what has already served you. And new moon is a very powerful time to set your intentions. If you have to replace an area or update an area on your vision board, try to do it during the new moon phase. First of all, just by you knowing that you're doing it amplifies that intention. And secondly, the new moon energy is a very powerful time to implant those intentions. So I hope that I've covered a lot of different topics. I hope it's not overwhelming for everybody. And I hope that it provided a lot of useful information. I try to keep it simple. I'm more of an in-person consultant. I didn't have that opportunity for too long. I look forward to meeting a lot of you in person going forward and speaking and just meeting you in networking groups. This is a great platform Barbara has given me to share my passion. So in closing, I want to say that when you implement these simple feng shui remedies, the universe will start to align your mindset of abundance with the mindset of your home's energy. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, Barbara.
You're welcome, Meena. Thank you so much. Oh my God, I learned so much during your talk and have a lot of work to do, but that's okay. A little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. Now we're going to open up to Q&A. And what I'm going to do is move everybody to panelist so that we can all share our beautiful faces on the screen.
I'd love to see everybody.
We can see everybody and connect. So as you pop over there, make sure you can get yourself on camera. There's beautiful Cheryl.
Hi, Cheryl.
There we go. We're
Hi,
getting
Diane.
there. Give me a sec. There's Diane. Okay. Malgarzada. Hi, Isabel. Mary. Computer's catching up. Nancy Glover, I know you've got tons of questions. She'll keep us busy. Paulette, Ray Joan. If you're comfortable coming on the camera, please do so. If not, that's okay too. Don't feel pressured. You just want to be in listen mode. There's nothing wrong with that as well. All right, Sarah, now we're simmer. And last but not least, we've got Sonia coming here. Hold on. Why is it not giving me an option? Oh no. Oh, there we go. Sonia coming. All right. Look at all these amazing, beautiful people. Okay. Now, does anybody need to come on camera that can't find their buttons? You can take yourselves off of mute. So if not, just put a note in the chat that you just want to remain listening, and that'll be cool too. So, wow. I love seeing everybody's beautiful faces. Sarah Smith, I haven't seen you in so long.
Hello.
And Simmer. And Sonia. Connie, we see you every week, but I always love seeing you. Kathy Bolton, Ray Joan, Diane, I haven't seen you, beautiful. All right, who have I missed? Camille, I haven't met you. Nice to meet you. Nancy Glover, great to see you. Isabel, nice to meet you. Malgarzada, I know you're there. Paulette, I know you're there. Come on if you want. Karen Dorn, come on if you want. No big deal. Okay. Wow. I don't know about you, but I've got like 2 pages of notes.
Yeah.
And I was fascinated. I had actually, Meena, I'd watched one of your videos on Instagram. You guys have to follow her on Instagram. Actually, hold on a second here. I'm just going to put in her links. She's got some amazing information and videos on Instagram. And The one that I watched that I think triggered me to say, hey, I want to talk to you, Meena, so that I can get you on and we can do this, was having rocks in the bathroom, you know, and on the drains and around the toilet and keeping the lid down. So every time I go in the bathroom now, flipping that lid down. So that's really cool. So I'm going to start by asking Nancy Glover, because she has a whole list of questions, to start the question and answer period. So Nancy, what question would you like to ask Meena?
I have 4 in total, but anyway, I'll start and you can tell me when to shut up. Okay. Hi, Meena. Love this is fabulous. Some of the stuff I already heard of, but I took about 3 pages of notes, so this is fabulous. You're talking about the red folders. I have purple ones. Is that close enough, or should I get red?
Great question. Here we go. Great question. I love it. Purple, pink, red, orange is all fire energy, honey. So you're already on fire.
Okay.
Next.
I actually was just gifted a piece of citrine, but the suggestion was to put it in my wallet. Is that okay, or should that be on my desk?
It depends on the size of citrine. If it fits beautifully in there, great. Excuse me. If not, then place it in your purse, place it on your desk. There's no wrong or right.
Okay.
So whatever's calling you.
Whatever. Continue with the crystals for the room, like the jade and whatnot. Is there a particular placement, like north, south, east, or west, on your desk, off your desk?
Yeah. Nancy, excuse me, it's all this talking, I guess. We've done your Feng Shui, honey, for your home.
Yes.
So you know firsthand about classical Feng Shui and how everything was based on a compass, right?
Yeah.
So there in Feng Shui, there is a place for each one of the crystals. Today, I was talking in general about the 4 crystals that are very powerful in abundance. But in classical Feng Shui, each area of the home is allocated to certain crystals to energize that space.
Yes, right. Okay.
So if for the rest of everyone here, southeast is your abundance corner. If you haven't done classical Feng Shui, that's okay. So at least in general, for Western Feng Shui, use your southeast. Use your southeast part of your office. Use your southeast corner of your desk for abundance. The phones nowadays all come with a built-in compass. Use your compass, sit at your chair, and just point where the southeast corner on your desk is or in your office is. For starters, it's better than nothing till we talk about classical Feng Shui.
One more. What is the effect of a cluttered office cupboard? Like, was that blocking energy-wise, or is it?
It's twofold. If you can see it, it's blocking energy. If it's contained inside behind the doors, it's concealed, we call it organized chaos. It's still clutter. It's just organized. Will energy see it as it comes in? No. Energy will get through those doors and see it. So the more we can organize the offices, the better it is for us to receive. It opens up the space to receive the abundance.
Okay, cool. That's me. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Nancy, so much. Just coming, I'll get to you in a sec there, Simmer. I know you've got your hand up. So I see you. Around the folder thing, you said when you're working on the folder, to keep it in the red folder or fire color folder, but then it's okay to move the material contents of the folder into a beige folder to go into the
These are this week's files for Feng Shui for my current clients. As soon as I am done, we will be communicating over messages and text and ongoing for a long time, because I am known to they call me hand-holding Meena, but the files will be closed and they will be filed away in beige folders.
Okay.
So just the current ones, because those are the ones you want to light the fire to and get that energy moving. As soon as it's wrapped up, you don't want any more perfect. You don't want any more action on those. They're done.
Okay.
Close your files and make space for more.
So as much as technology has supposedly streamlined things, in my job, there's a lot of paper. So, yeah, thank you for that. Simmer, you had a question.
I had a couple, but I'm gonna
Go
keep
for
it
it.
short. So first, Meena, when you were talking about folders and stuff, so I just have a list of my clients because I'm still on the lookout, right, and working with them. So can I just make what is that, red pen? That's what I have.
If you're making a list, use a red pen.
Okay. And then can I just put all of them in one single folder because I'm still like they're my contacts, like?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever you can, whatever is current, every business is unique. Everybody will have their own system. Use what works for you, knowing what you know now. Keep the energy fired up with red.
Okay. Okay. The question I had is my mom gave me like a turtle, like a tortoise, but I don't know where to place it. So should I, and I really don't know anything about it.
I'm not going to be BSing about anything because my sister Sarah over here will call me on it. I practice classical feng shui and
Okay.
don't have turtles in there. That's all
Okay.
Western feng shui. Just like any of the mythologies, when they were brought away from the classical formula, there's a lot of bells and whistles that were added. Not to say that it's not right. I just don't want to quote on something that I'm not trained in.
Understandable. And then for the rest of the questions, Meena, I'll text you. Hand holding Meena.
We're due to meet up soon. No problem.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Sarah. All right. I know that Ray Joan had a question.
Yes, Meena, it's such an awesome session here. I wrote 3 pages, okay?
Great.
So my question was, you mentioned a lamp that is behind you. What is that? I
That's
didn't.
a selenite lamp.
Sorry?
It's a selenite lamp. You know, you probably heard of a salt lamp.
Salt, yes.
Yeah, so the Himalayan salt lamp. Well, this is a form of a crystal. It's a selenite lamp. And what it does everything that a salt lamp does. I have a blog actually on my website on salt lamps, but it amplifies the energy of other crystals with it because it's a crystal itself.
And where would you get something like that?
Place it where I have it behind my back for support and for that strength. It's good to place it where the family spends a lot of time in. It's good to place it where you have your electronics, family room area, TV area, in your home office, anywhere where you're spending a lot of time in, or there's electronics and computers.
How do you spell it? Sorry.
Purifies the area. I love touching this one. I couldn't do that with my salt lamp, but my selenite lamp, it has
Selenite.
warmth to it. You could feel the energy around it.
How do you spell that? Is it with a C or S? Oh,
It's
S.
an S right there in the comment. S-E-L.
Thank you. Thank you.
I've got mine in the living room next to
on my shop if you're interested, or you could look at, just make sure that you go to a trustworthy place though to get them, but they're very powerful. Yes.
Yeah. Mary says, don't get it wet.
What happens?
Fall apart.
Pardon?
It'll fall apart. The salt lamp will fall apart.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Salt.
Funny story. I have, when I have my office downstairs, I had a ledge and I had my salt lamp sort of just beside the computer screen. And believe it or not, I had the selenite behind me, and my cat would come and sit right by the salt lamp. Wouldn't touch it or lick it or anything like that, but would just absorb the energy from the light. I just thought that was so awesome. Her name's Karma too. So Yeah. Hi, Tara. Great to see you. I'm going to bring you in as panelists. We got to, and then who else had it? Somebody had their hand up. Oh, Sarah, you have your hand up.
First of all, I want to thank you, Meena. I learned so much. And your presentation's amazing. It just flowed right through everything. And like Barb, I've got a lot of notes. So thank you for that. When you were mentioning,
Sarah.
Love you. When you were mentioning, use your each room, use your china, like don't keep anything, like just use everything that you have. This is just an observation that I did in my life. So I heard you, 3 years ago when you said this. And so what I did was all the clothes, like I actually had a pair of pants from 1982 that I was gonna wear one day, right? Like I was just gonna wear it. It's not gonna happen. So what I did was I took all of my stuff out and I started to wear the clothes that I thought were very pretty and up to date. And I started to do that with my shoes and my clothes and my jackets. But what I noticed was my inner circle, like you and Edie, these amazing powerhouse women, they were showing up dressed really, really nicely all the time. So you're right. Like I brought the energy in from me and my windows started to see it all around me. So it was a pretty powerful affirmation that, to declutter my closet and then to appreciate what I had. And if I wanted the best of me to show up, I wore my bestest everything and not for Christmas or one day and anything and then people started to show up like that in my world. So.
That's a great share, Sarah, because I myself, living here and I work here and I'm on, Zoom all the time. And some days I'm not. But I found myself in this clothing rut where I didn't get dressed and then I would find my mood dropping and my emotions weren't so great. And then the negative self-talk would sneak in. And then I'm like, oh my God, so then I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to go shopping. So I did. I went to Melanie Lynn in Langley and yes. I just picked up a few pieces and believe it or not, gold pieces. And I've been dressing up a little bit more and it's making me feel better. And then Meena sent me my, what did you call that thing?
Personal trigram.
Yeah, my trigram. And of course, I had gravitated towards the exact colors that I should have in my life. It was so cool.
Yes. Yes.
So cool.
No, Sarah, thank you. That is exactly it, honey. It's the same thing, don't we notice the day that we feel the best, we're smiling more? And we get more smiles back. It could still be rainy and it's how we feel inside. And why save that? I mean, those days are gone. That's what we grew up with, that mentality of, especially as immigrant families, we have plastic covers over our sofas and lampshades and now my brown sisters are laughing. Yeah, but true. And so try it one day. Eat in your good dishes, the food will taste better. Eat in that area that we were reserving and energy will start to flow. It's up to us to take that first step.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, exactly. Kathy Bolton, hi, hon. Don't you do something special with clothing? Do you remake or would you mind sharing a little bit about what you do with clothing and energy?
With clothing and energy, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess. I just have to think of how to word that. So yeah, I do energy work as well. This was an amazing talk. Thank you so much, Meena. It was like I took tons of notes, and it's like we need to talk. We need to talk. I need to have a session with you for sure. Yeah, what I do, I've worked in fashion my whole life, and just with my connection and understanding of energy, I do in a similar way, just help people connect to their own energy of who they are and the expression of that through the clothes that they wear. So it's just, I don't know that I have any formal training in it. I just sort of do it by how I figured it out. So
No, that's great. You found your way of contributing. You've made it your calling, and it's coming out from you naturally, which is the best way. You're not forcing it on yourself. This is great. That's your calling, and yeah, I'd love to connect with you one day, Kathy, and share our experiences.
thank you. Thank you. It
Thanks,
was
Kathy.
amazing. Thanks, Barbara.
You're welcome. Diane, you have a question?
Yes, thank you. Meena, can you hear me okay? Oh,
Yes, I can, neighbor. I can hear you just from across the street here.
yes. Meena was so gracious to come over and give me a few tips, and they were amazing. Something you mentioned today, I also want to just say that your voice is so hypnotic and relaxing. It's just
Yes.
so at ease. So thank you for that. It's very nice. You mentioned when you walk through the walkway, because you know my walkway is straight. And then you mentioned that it's good to have the curve so that the energy can kind of dance to my front door. How would I do that if it's straight? My garage pad is straight. My entranceway is straight. And definitely have a lot of cleaning up to do around that entranceway. But is there a way to kind of move that around a little somehow without restructuring it?
That's a great question, because like I said earlier, it's not possible in every case. When we have the chance, when we feel like, you know, digging it and making it, if we have the space to do so. I've been in your house, Diane, so I know where your front door is. So I'm going to I'm going to talk about that case this time. Have it more inviting. Your door is to the side, and I know I briefly mentioned it too when I was there. Have it more inviting. Right now is the perfect time of the year for the next 8 to 10 months. Plant flowers, put more lighting in your entrance, and just really clean up that pathway. The only way I describe this to my clients is just if a special guest was coming to our house, if tomorrow Oprah decided to stop by, or we have our spiritual person that we highly respect, we would really beautify our exterior space to, make sure they're feeling welcome as they're coming in. Energy is the same. Just because we don't see it, we tend to forget. And that's my calling here, is to keep talking about energy. Today alone, I must have used the word 100 times, but it's just, it's very powerful. So make sure that you're inviting it in, because first it has to come into your space for it to do its magic.
Yeah.
The remedies I implant are inside, but we first always start with the outside, whether it's outside of a business or a home or an apartment. I go into condos and apartment buildings, and last night I was at an office building where their office was, up the elevator on the second floor, way at the end. So we went through 4 or 5 other doors before I got to theirs. And from the outside, every one of them looks the same. So I told them to put a beautiful image of their business, because of course they all have nameplates, but put something that identifies you, that identifies you. So energy has someone to connect to, because otherwise it's just going to go round and round, and no one's really standing out for calling it in. And it's just swirling round and round. So really make it personalized to you. If you can't open the door and invite it in, that's the next best thing, is have those flowers. Keep it clean, have the lights, and make sure the lights are not broken. Make sure, if you can, have 2 lights on either side, if you're able to, unless we have a side entrance. So it's balance. Balance in Feng Shui is very important, the yin and the yang. So make sure they're both working, they're clean. Right now, again, we're having this conversation at the time of the year where we're ready to do all this. The garden centers are ready for us.
So what about, because the garage doors are in the front, when you open that, does that bring in any kind of?
It does, but a very small percentage, which is okay. You can still put plants on a planter on either side of the garage door. That again, most of our homes have garage doors in the front. So have a planter on each side for balance, not just on one side.
Mhm.
Great.
Whatever we can do to invite it in.
Awesome. Great questions.
Thank you, Meena.
Welcome, honey.
Thanks, Diane. Mary, I see you have your hand up. You have a question?
I have been told that on your desk, if you want your business to be worldwide, to have a globe, and when you sit down to do business, to twirl it. Any ideas on thoughts on that?
I don't know, honey. I've never
Okay.
heard that. In classical feng shui, one of the areas is called helpful people and travel area. And when we do the feng shui, right now travel's been on hold for over a year, but in a business, it's how your business name also travels. It's not just an actual travel. It's how does your business name travel? That's what it represents in business feng shui. It's the same area. In a home, it's helpful people. How is that your concern traveling to that right person for them to give you the assistance? So we place globes and atlases and any travel images in that area in classical feng shui. But to have it behind your back, I can't see anything wrong with it. It's just not part of classical feng shui.
I have one more question.
Yes, please.
Go ahead.
The hourglasses with sand in them, to have them on your desk, I just want to make sure it's not a negative that I'm putting on my desk.
Again, it's not part of classical feng shui. There's no wrong or right. The way I see it, I see energy moving. I see it that it's movement. It's something that you're putting your focus towards when you're turning it upside down. Wherever your intention's going, it cannot be a bad thing.
Okay.
If that's what you've had and you haven't felt anything negative about it, keep it there.
It's new, so I'm just checking. Thank you.
If it's new, I would smudge it. And that's another thing I should talk about quickly is a lot of times clients rearrange their spaces after we do consultation. They get all excited about rearranging some things, and then they're under the impression that anything used is not good idea. It's not good energy. You can, unless something is broken, the drawers are not opening, the handles are loose, or it's scratched or wobbly, you can buy a used item. It does not mean it's bad feng shui. Just because it has somebody else's energy in it, bring it home, smudge it outside your house once with the intention that you're resetting the energy, you're making it your own, you're welcoming it for it to serve its purpose. You brought it here for the reason. Really take just a couple of minutes to implant that energy in there and then bring it into your space fearless. Now you've made it your own. So smudging has a lot of power. So yes, Mary, you can also smudge your hourglass if it's new, and just get in that habit of smudging, because for one, we're making it our own, because we don't know when that item was being made, what kind of energy was going into there. We know a lot of the items are made in countries that don't have good working conditions, and it's their energy in there. And also you're now thanking it by giving it the 30 seconds of smudging and placing it for its intention.
I've heard that's a good idea to do with clothing as well, especially if you're shopping in the used secondhand clothing stores or vintage stores, to make sure you're clearing the energy on your clothes that you're bringing into the house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it becomes a ritual. I mean, without going overboard, it's totally personal to everybody. See what's calling you. Back in the day, they used to only say used items, but now we know, a lot of the stuff is made with poor working conditions. So really express gratitude and make it your own.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Mary. Good question. What about water or water features? It
was one of the ones I was going to talk about today, but I crossed it off my list because It's associated with abundance. Water energy is associated with abundance. That's a reason why I wanted to talk about it. But it's contradicting what classical feng shui and general one is. Water feature overall is good, especially in the north section. Having said that, in classical feng shui on February 4th, the energies move for the next 12 months. So if you're meant to have fire in that area this year, fire is just a small red night light, by the way. It's a remedy is very simple. Then you've got a water feature going there. Not only is it going to suppress the energy that you haven't placed there yet, which would have been fire, but now you're also suppressing the very little fire natural energy that would be there. So I don't recommend them. If you want to have a water feature, that's great. I only recommend them when I've done a consultation
Okay,
for a client. They have a place in a home, but it's not generic.
great. Thank you. Thank you.
Having said that, if you have a water feature in your backyard, and you plan to keep it, make sure the water energy is flowing towards your house and not sitting against a wall going outwards. That's one of the common things we see as feng shui consultants, is they're being placed incorrectly. The energy is flowing out instead of bringing abundance in. So make sure you've at least just turned it around.
Excellent. Does anybody else have any questions, comments, feedback? Oh, Isabel, yes.
Hi, Meena. Actually, I don't have a question. I just want to say thank you. Meena, you have so much knowledge, and thank you for sharing it. And so nice to see you. I miss you so much.
Isabel, it's been
so long.
years, honey.
I
We
know.
have to make time together. It's been too long. Isabel and I used to fly together.
Yeah.
And had shared many evenings around the world. But I'd love to connect with you, honey. Thank you for joining today. Put a smile on my face to see you again.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, thank you, Isabel. Mary's asking, any thoughts on wands?
On what, sorry?
Wands, 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 like I'm waving my magic wand.
We have the crystal wands we use. We use chimes for feng shui. There are certain remedies for certain reasons. Overall, yeah, no, honey, I don't know. I mean, I'm not that trained in the realm of energy. I know my feng shui really well. Sarah, comment, honey? Please step in.
When you have a wand that has a lot of metal on it, alloys on it. So if you've got copper or metal, and then you've got different stones that are embedded on top of that, what you have done is suppress the energy of the wand. So if you're going to have a wand, my suggestion is the best one is one stone, like an absolute high grade amethyst, or a clear quartz is the best one. And you can test them before you, whether it's muscle testing, or if you just take the wand and place it on your wrist area where you have your radial or ulnar pulsation, your nerves are here, your body will tell you how alive that crystal is, or how alive that wand is. So when we buy these amazing wands for a lot of money, they've desensitized the entire thing by gluing and pasting and heating and placing. So when we buy any kind of crystals, one of the intentions we put on that, so for example, if you bought this crystal, when you clear it and bring it into your own, and before you put your intention on it, unite it back to the giant that it came from. So take all your crystals and imagine, whether it's in Mexico or Brazil, the giant cylinders that this beautiful baby, this is the baby that came from a mama, get the energy of the mama. And then now this thing is as powerful as it's going to get. But if I, do all kinds of things to it, the energy of crystals they say that crystals choose you. It's absolutely true. When you're gravitating to a crystal, go for that crystal, not one that has 10,000 things done to it, or, you know, how many hands did it go through? Because you can sage something till the cows come home, but if you've, you know, if you've killed your little baby, it's just not going to give you any energy at all.
Thank you,
I
Sarah.
hope that helped.
Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome.
So much amazing wisdom in the room tonight. I think is awesome. Anybody else have any other questions? It's 8:18, so we're coming to a close here. No?
Just one more question about the waterfall again. What if it's a waterfall that goes around, like ours was around all the way and came up and down through the bottom bowl and the middle bowl and top little bowl?
When we do have to place a water remedy somewhere, those are the ones that I actually suggest, because it's circulating that energy around slowly and not just coming down. All right, so those are the best ones to get.
Yeah, okay. Well, the whole thing is just crumpled and broken now, but we had to get
shopping.
Yeah, I hope that it's just the fact that it was old, that it crumpled, but it was at the south side of the home. And you said that's fire side?
Yeah, north is water. Water energy in general. Again, it's not the Feng Shui I practice, so I try to stay away from that. Because we do our, like I said in the very beginning, what classical Feng Shui is, it's very precise to the compass reading of your home or business. I could have 2 apartment buildings in the same building, 2 apartment units, and their reading will be totally opposite. It depends on where is their energy coming from. So that's a difference in classical Feng Shui, whereas in Western Feng Shui, you get a pre-printed Bagua map online and you place it on your front entrance. And that's how they do it. But there's a reason why I chose classical Feng Shui. It's a lot more in-depth, but for me, it was worth my years of training, that's for sure.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
I don't see any other questions. Thank you, Meena, for being my guest on Crack the Money Code and for sharing your wisdom and knowledge with us. We all have, I'm sure, a list of things that we want to go and do and clear, and it's perfect timing. You said full moon to set intentions, and we're also in spring, so that's a good time to clear out, you know, and spring clean. And I was also going to say, one of the tips that you can do is, as you're clearing out and finding objects that you think you could recycle, you can also put it on Facebook Marketplace, or actually sell your used items and have that flow of energy of money, because money loves to circulate as well. So, and there's a lot of people out there right now that are struggling a little bit financially, and to take something off of you for a smaller amount than going to the store to buy a new item is good for them. It's good for the planet, because we're not littering our Mother Earth with junk that we're not using in our homes. So let's look at reuse and reduce and recycle, and create that flow of energy. The giving and the receiving of cash and the circulation of money is really important as well. So yeah, my little financial planning tip, how to create a little cash flow happening in your world.
Thank you.
Thank you once again.
Valgarzada, you got your hand there?
Yeah, I have short question because I was driving when I was listening, and I didn't hear well enough about the rocks around the toilet. Do you mean the rocks I can find by the river? I can put them, or they have to be crystals?
Sorry, about around the toilet?
Yeah, so where would the rocks that you would put there, do you just get them from the yard?
Yeah, just rocks. When you go to the beach, when you go for your trail walk, just collect nature, small stones, and place them on the back side of your toilet for grounding the energy from going down.
Okay. I heard about closing the toilet, but I never heard about putting rocks around it. Yeah.
Great.
Okay, thank you.
Good, good, good. Well, thank you everybody so much for attending the meeting tonight. We will be back again next Thursday evening for a general Crack the Money Code session. And I invite you to attend if you can. Attend Thursday evenings at 7, Wednesdays at 11 a.m. on Zoom. And it's informal. There's a lot of conversation around abundance and prosperity and financial planning tips, because that's in my blood. That's just what I do. And it's about supporting women in the world. About what we focus on expands. So when we focus on prosperity and building wealth, putting our money to work, then that's what is going to happen. So I encourage you to join me. We've got links in the chat if you want. I don't know if you can save the chat. Yeah. If you look at the very bottom of the chat, there's 3 little buttons there. If you click on that, you can go save chat. And then you'll get all the comments or the links and stuff and information. Also, too, if you registered for this evening, you will get an email with links to Meena's website, links to her social media, and there is a link for a free download to her ebook as well, which we hadn't talked about, Meena. But there is an ebook gift for you there, which you'll get in the check your emails out. And then also in the email will be links for my private Facebook group where all the information is for the Wednesday and Thursday Zoom meetings for wealth and prosperity. So thank you.
I quickly want to add one of the things. Yes, the ebook is about abundance, how to invite more abundance into your life. So very appropriate to the topic we're talking about. If you haven't received it already, you'll get the link. And the other thing that I want to mention is we talked briefly about our power colors. Barbara mentioned it. And what it is we all have our power colors. Where it's part of our when we were born. It doesn't change yearly or anything. So it's a blueprint from our date of birth and the gender. So you can subscribe to that on my website, and I will be sending you your personal trigram, which it's very beneficial in 2 areas. I know Cheryl has one. And Sarah had one from a long time ago. So I would gladly, I will send it to you if you request for it. It shows you your power position, where to sit, which way should your back be facing to be in your command position. And secondly, I mean, it has many aspects to it, but the 2 most often beneficial ones are your power color. I'm wearing mine today. Mine is earth tones in red. And wear it when you have any powerful meetings, you're going for that bank loan, you're going for that powerful presentation, anywhere you need that extra little energetic boost, wear your power color. So if you need to find out yours, just get in touch with me.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. So look for an email in your inbox, probably not tomorrow, but the next day, because I want to trim the video and get it all organized. So that's all available for you as well. So you can go back and listen to it again. And if you missed any of the tips, but again, Meena, thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy and your love with us. And so appreciated. And I hope you join us again. Ladies, again, thank you for being here with me and supporting Crack the Money Code. I hope I see some of you on the regular meetings during the week. And love and prosperity and healing energy to everybody. And
thank you. Bye, Barb.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.